All right, welcome to another rendition of No Filter Sports. I am your host, Brian Lyles, Brian3SL, and the Twitter. I already explained what 3SL means. With me is right now, the real Virgo, Trump. And how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay. Uh, we've been gone for a bit, but going away a bit helps us accumulate all the sports that's been coming, and we're in the perfect time of sports. We got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, football's coming back, baseball's down to its sprint month. 20 games left. I mean, this is a good time for sports, even under the crazy conditions of the coronavirus. So how are you feeling about all this? In a sense, this professional playoff esque sports that you're getting.
I'm loving it, man. I'm all for it. I am hoping. I can't wait till Thursday.
Mm.
I can't wait till Thursday. I was before we did the show. I was looking over the teams that are allowing fans in, and Kansas City is one of them. But I think it's only gonna be like 16,000 people there. But
Right.
I'm excited and I'm curious to see how it's gonna work. And yeah, I'm just glad to have football back, man. And then you got the NBA playoffs and all this. Sports is I'm just thankful for sports right now. Thank you.
All right. Well, so for the last few weeks, I want to get this out of the way, at least the first half of this. Get this out of the way. I know you want to rename some of these teams out there. We've already did the NBA. We've already did the NFL because of, as you view it, as political correctness. Because after the Washington football team got its temporary name, and I'm going to keep reiterating this, it's just temporary. So this time around, we got the NHL teams. And so first half we're going to do with the Eastern Conference. Like I say, we're going to do first half of the show, the Eastern half of the league. So we start off with the Boston Bruins.
Okay, see, I'm not familiar with the NHL teams, but as long as you name them to me, I can go on. Plus, I'm not drunk enough. So
all right.
Let's start with that. So you named the team, and who did you just say?
I said the Boston Bruins.
Bruins. Sound too much like ruins. They got to change that name.
Okay.
We live in a world, and everything has to be, non-offensive.
And well, technically, Bruins represents Bears, so is also deal with possibly issues.
Yeah, but it sounds too close to the word ruin, and today's millennials, they don't like anything that sounds bad. So ruin and Bruins, they got to change the name.
All right. Next up, the Buffalo Sabres.
Pass, because I don't know what the hell a saber is. Saber, I know like a Star Wars saber.
Yeah, it's a sword. That's what sabers are.
Yeah. Oh no, that's violent. A weapon, a sword, it will kill you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The Detroit Red Wings.
Red Wings, they can stay.
Okay. Florida Panthers.
No, got to change name. Black Panthers. We talked about this with the Carolina Panthers. Too close to Black Panther. No, got to go.
Okay. Montreal Canadiens.
Canadians? Montreal Canadiens?
Yeah, Montreal Canadiens.
No, you can't nationalize your country. You're making it seem like you're better than other countries. No, you can't call yourself after your country. How would they feel if we called ourselves the whatever United States of Americans or some shit like that? No.
Okay. Ottawa Senators.
Senators?
Mm-hmm.
They can stay for now until I think of something. I think they're okay.
All right. Tampa Bay Lightning.
Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Lightning can stay. That's a natural weather phenomenon. So there's nothing. Yeah, they can stay.
All right. Toronto Maple Leafs.
Maple Leafs again. You trying to nationalize it because isn't the Maple Leaf Canadians something about Canada Maple Leaf, right?
It's its national symbol. Yes.
Oh no, we can't have that. Then you're trying to make it seem like you're better than everybody else. No, we can't have it. Okay. Too offensive to Americans.
All right. The Carolina Hurricanes.
Hurricanes can stay. That's a natural weather phenomenon.
Okay. This will be interesting. The Columbus Blue Jackets.
Blue Jackets. Why can't they be the Red Jackets? Why can't they be the Black Jackets? red, white. It sounds too racist to me. No, you gotta change it.
All right, this one I think you're. I know you'll change this one. New Jersey Devils.
Satan, devil worshipers, yeah. They gotta call themselves the New Jersey Gods or the New Jersey Angels. Something that symbolizes greatness and make you feel better for these fucking sensitive ass millennials. Yeah. No, they got to change that one now.
All right, next, the New York Islanders.
I like Islands. They can stay.
Okay. The New York Rangers.
Rangers, no. Texas Rangers. Rangers, no. They got to change the name. It's too much. All this stuff. The Texas Rangers are like secret police force. Rangers, no, they got to change that. No, it's the police climb too. Oh no, yeah, change.
All right, Philadelphia Flyers.
Flyers. They can stay for now.
All right. Pittsburgh Penguins.
Penguins can stay.
Okay, surprising. And lastly, for this part, the Washington Capitals.
Washington, yeah, they can stay.
Oh, okay. So not a lot of changes in the NHL for the Eastern Conference. All right. Towards the end of the show, yeah. So towards the end of the show, we'll talk about the Western Conference, which I believe you'll probably be more drunk enough by then and see what kind of changes will happen. Speaking of changes, all right. Prior to this show, I know you posted on Facebook about you probably seeing that the Miami Heat would be going into the NBA Finals and probably winning it. I'm not fully sure if you're still full on that. But then I commented on your Facebook page stating, in fact, well, wait, didn't you say like a few weeks ago that you had the Celtics going? So based off of what you've been seeing in this playoffs, what made you change your mind that you may see the Heat in the finals and not the Celtics?
Well, just because the Heat have been dominant the whole playoffs. They were dominant in when the bubble started up, the little bubble regular season. They've been dominant. So, yeah, let's yeah, I think the Heat are going to. I think the Heat are the. It's a word for that. The Heat have been underestimated all year. Before the shutdown, they were catching fire. Then when they came back in the bubble, they were catching fire. They're surrounded by a bunch of shooters. They're manhandling Milwaukee. I don't know what happened yesterday, but I'm pretty sure they're going to come back tomorrow and take it. And the way the Heat look is nothing against the Celtics. The Heat just came out of the Heat. They on fire, man. They yeah.
Okay, if Boston, because right now they're, for some odd reason, Toronto gave everything they had in Game 4, and they're not showing up in Game 5 right now as we're recording. If it is Boston and Miami, if Miami wins their next game, how you see that series dynamic? Let's put it this way: how do you see that dynamic to where the Heat will actually win?
They're too versatile. The Heat have shooters. They're too versatile. They have a coach who I think is one of the most underrated coaches in the entire league. He did it with LeBron, and now to prove how great he is, he's doing it without LeBron. And even before Jimmy Butler got there yet this year, last year the Heat were sneaking up on some people. So they wouldn't beat the Lakers. I don't think they would beat anybody in the West. But yeah, I just think they're too versatile for Boston. They're too fast. They're young. Both teams are young, but Boston is just the way Boston let those two games go. I really was like, I got to go with the Heat.
Okay. So you say you're still sticking with the Lakers going.
Mm-hmm.
What, based off of the first two games against Houston, do you still think that they'll get past them?
Yep. 4-1.
So you feel like even though Harden and Westbrook, they're not, this is not their time, or do you feel like they won't be able to adjust?
If the Lakers feed the ball to what's the boy name? The other All-Star. What's his name? Anthony Davis. If they feed the ball to him, Houston can't stop him. Houston has no bigs. And if LA would just stop shooting and just feed it to Anthony Davis, get the ball to Anthony Davis inside, work Houston inside, it's 4-1. That's it. That's how you beat Houston.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hold you on to that. I know the Clippers and the Nuggets series seem, or excuse me, the N word based off of certain other people's perspective of that team, because I feel like that will be the more interesting series, and that likely may go to 7. So the next time we do the broadcast, and we'll hold on to that. So right now you have the Lakers and Heat in the finals, right?
Yep.
All right.
I know people are mad in real life because they could have been in. You got Los Angeles and South Beach. You got, oh my God, what a dream final that would be if they weren't in the bubble. Woo.
So this will be interesting. So like we said before, there's a lot of sports going on. Surprisingly enough, college football returned. There were a few games that were played over Saturday, but we're not fully into because my school, Maryland, they didn't play because the Big Ten is still out of it. But then again, they may come back for some weird reason because Donald Trump says, "Hey, you should come back." But pro football is coming back beginning this Thursday, and like you said, Kansas City, the defending Super Bowl champions, will be hosting the Houston Texans, and they'll be usually that's the annual census. I think it's been now 10 years since the defending Super Bowl champions opening at home, except for 7 years ago, the Ravens had to go to Denver, those motherfuckers. But
they still haven't reached this back yet.
Yeah, they have. They've been dogging the Ravens.
You know what? Be mad at your Baltimore Orioles for that.
Yeah, that I do. That is also the other reason because I blame the owner. It was the owner's fault because he didn't want to change the date and all that stuff. So
is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. He's still alive and still owns the team. But anyway, the Chiefs got their rings this week. Everyone goes say, "Oh, it looks nice." But it also looks like the Ravens from 7 years ago. So it was like, oh, have you seen the ring?
I haven't seen the rings.
Okay, it is almost the exact same thing, except for the background the Ravens have is the silver background, but the Chiefs have these red rubies behind it with the 2 Super Bowl titles and the Chiefs logo in front, just like the Ravens did with theirs. So a lot of people were kind of like, oh, okay. So there was a little jab in that. But then again, it's, I figured it's like, it still look nice. It still looked pretty, better than any of the Patriots ones they had. Because if anyone ever goes to see the Super Bowl rings, the Patriots ones, I did a personal list of the Super Bowl rings. And the best one I felt, let's say the top 2, I felt that were the best ones were the Steelers and the Saints, because the Steelers' 6th one when they had the
Super Bowl rings.
Huh?
I just never paid attention to Super Bowl rings.
I like them. They're interesting. So
everybody's different. Maybe if I start looking at them, I'm like, man, them things look so big. I don't even want to see it because I can't wear it. I'm like,
true. But unless you work for the team. So unless you work for the team, you may get one. So
shit. So maybe I get a janitor job with the Ravens or something. I don't know.
Hey, even the janitors. I've known people who work for the Nationals. They're like production booths people. They've gotten rings. I've seen, and I know some people who've gotten a ring for the Capitals. Just being, like you said, working concessions and stuff like that. So, hey, if you work in production, sports production, people, you may get a ring. But anyway, back to the game. Chiefs, Texans. This will be interesting. Like you said, Chiefs are allowing fans in, but just pretty much about a quarter of the fan base coming in. How do you see? Everyone talks about the Super Bowl hangover. My viewpoint is this: since if you remember, mind you, this is a rematch of the divisional playoffs between the Texans and the Chiefs, where the Texans had the Chiefs beat bad in that first half, and then they lost it. And the Texans now, for some dumb reason, got rid of their top weapon of Hopkins. So here's the thing: is this a game to where it's like the Texans has a chance to win, or better yet, is this the game where we should start beginning the countdown for Coach O'Brien? Because I think he's on the hot seat right now.
Oh yeah, he's on the high seat. I don't think he should have been brought back, to tell you the truth. And then he does I don't know what he was thinking, and gets rid of the wide receiver. What's his name?
DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah.
What?
That didn't make no sense. None.
So to me, based off that move right now, his ass is Super Bowl or bust. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't go to the Super Bowl, he's out of there.
I mean,
based on that dumb ass move, and especially if David Johnson doesn't produce, ooh, he might not make it through the season. if it's 8 games and they are 4-4 or 3-5, they probably let him go.
Yeah. And also, here's the other factor you got to add. And J.J. Watt, again, is returning from another injured season. So you got to base off his health, because he'll be great up till half the season and somehow he may get injured. So he has to have a full season.
Injury prone too. He's a great player he's a great player whenever he's healthy. Mm-hmm. But shit, I mean, for the past 2 or 3 years, he gets injured and he's out multiple games. You can't help your team if you're not available. What they say, the best ability is availability. And you're great when you're healthy, but can you stay healthy?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And then the other thing is, I think Watson losing one of his major weapons. I mean, now he's got to rely on newer guy, either the next guy up, so to speak. But then again, if your main guy that you've been going to for the last couple of years is not there no more, I mean, and you got to rely on these new guys, it's kind of like you kind of drop down a bit. I just don't see. I think this. Mind you, we haven't focused on the Chiefs yet, but really, it's kind of like the Texans. This is like, I mean, as much as we in football beat, like, you got to win every game almost. This is a must game for the Texans, just to beat the Chiefs to get that revenge game on. But the other thing is just start building some form of momentum to where you want to keep your coach's job. Because I just don't see this. I really don't.
Hold on one second. Let me just say this. First of all, before I know how I skip around something, that means the drink is kicking in when I skip around. What a Virgo is before we continue. A real Virgo is a September Virgo. So to TJ and all you August Virgos, y'all not real Virgos. Okay. That's why we call you August Virgos and we don't call you Virgos. See, if you're born September, Virgo season is the shortest season of the year because we don't claim them August mofos. Virgo season is September 1 to September 20, I think, or 21. That's Virgo season, 21 days. We do not count the August ones because they like to sweat Leos and, too much. So that's why I'm a real Virgo. I'm a September Virgo. All right, proceed.
Okay. I'm sorry. All right, you and Beyonce, real Virgos. Okay, I get it. All right. Now let's get into the Chiefs. Huh?
When is Beyonce's birthday?
I think it was 2 days ago, the 9th, 5th.
Mine's is on the 10th.
Okay. Yeah, so happy future birthday.
Thank you.
No problem. Now let's get into the Chiefs. Like I said, we sometimes worry about the Super Bowl hangover, but since it's just week 1, pretty much most of their guys are coming back. I believe they're getting 16 out of the 22 starters back. So where do you see the Chiefs? The way I feel is like they're favorites in this game. I'll mention the fact I'm back in NFL doing fantasy football. I'll get into more details later.
But we'll talk about that for sure.
Yeah. And Patrick Mahomes, he's. I think to me, this is like, okay, is this going to be a cakewalk for him in at least this first game, or do you feels like there'll be some growing pains for week one?
I see them repeating. I do not see a Super Bowl hangover. I just don't. I like. I think it's their time. You want me to give you my Super Bowl predictions?
If you'd like to give a preseason prediction, go ahead.
This is my preseason prediction. Then I'll update my prediction in week 8.
Yeah, like we always do, like everybody does.
Now, a lot of people aren't going to like this, including myself, because I'm a Ravens fan, and I think the AFC Championship. I think this is going to be a rivalry like Bird and Magic, Mahomes and Jackson. But I really think that Kansas City is going back, and I think their opponent in the Super Bowl, which I think is going to surprise a lot of people, is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. I see a Kansas City, Dallas Super Bowl.
Oh, I gotta hear
I do not see San Francisco going back. If anybody's going to have a hangover, it's going to be San Francisco. It's. I'm gonna tell you. I see Kansas City, Dallas, and Dallas is edging Seattle like that. It's real close. I do not see Green Bay having another good year. I mean, I don't see them going 13-3. I see New Orleans having a good year, but I don't see them going to Super Bowl. I think this is the year that Drew Brees goes over the cliff. And I see a Seattle-Dallas NFC Championship, and whoever has home field is going to win, but I'm going to give the edge to Dallas. I see Kansas City, Dallas in the Super Bowl. Simply because Jason Garrett isn't there.
Okay, this is you got the Lamar Hunt Super Bowl. Okay. Lamar Hunt, he owned the Chiefs. He was the original owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is a history lesson, everybody. The Kansas City Chiefs used to play in Dallas, and they used to be known as the Dallas Texans. So there, and the reason why they moved because of the Dallas Cowboys showed up, and the Dallas Cowboys became more popular because the NFL was more popular. So that's why he moved to the Kansas City. So there's your history lesson, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm gonna counter your Super Bowl prediction.
You're gonna do that. Another drink. I'm listening.
Yeah, as you get your drink. I want to say this. I really think the NFC is very wide open, more so than the AFC, and especially with the AFC. As kind of now finally there's some openness now that Brady is in the NFC with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the New England Patriots is, even though Bill Belichick is still there, but to me it's just not the same team that you would be fearful of just yet. I mean, I have to see them play to see if is this the New England team that we should fear? It's just that they have a new quarterback, or is there this is the beginning of finally the beginning of the end of the Patriots' dominance in the AFC East and the AFC in general. My viewpoint is I see this. I do see Kansas City being a contender because I feel the AFC West is wide open. I'm not wide open, excuse me. It's just not as dominant as it used to be because the Broncos got nothing. The Chargers are rebuilding. And the Raiders are coming up, but they're just not a threat. So I do see them winning the West. I really feel, and like you said, I do agree. We have the new quarterback rivalry between, we had Brady and Manning in the 2000s. I think now it's Jackson and Mahomes as the new quarterback rivalry in the AFC. And they were going to be playing each other for years. Trust me, folks. They're playing this year. They're playing against next year. Who knows? The years down the line. The only thing that I feel is this: these two teams are going to go against each other in the AFC title game as long as the Ravens get it together. And I feel like it's like I'm patient. I was patient back, during the end of the Ray Lewis's run when Ray said, this is my final ride, and it's like all the Ravens had to do was get through Steelers, get through the Patriots. This time around, I think it's the exact same thing. And I told you this when the Ravens got into the playoffs a couple of years ago. I felt like this is the same thing, even though they lost the wild card game, and I felt like winning going to get into the divisional was a good achievement. But at the same time, it's like, that's not the Ravens. The Ravens are not a team that stays on top and stays there. They're a team that likes to fight. And I feel like it's like, I would have mind them being a wild card team, or better yet, win the division and go through the wild card run, because that's how they are. They're hungry. They want to fight and they want to win. And I feel like, being on the top perch like that and being the quote unquote target just didn't feel right. That's why I felt like they, it didn't feel like when they faced the Titans during that divisional game, it just didn't feel right then. It didn't feel right now. It was nice to have a new record, 14-2 record. Great. They were the number one seed for the first time. That's great. But it just didn't feel right. Now, I think this year or next year, it's one of these 2 years, this year or next year, it will feel right. And it feel right to the point where it's like, they will get there and they will win it. And it doesn't matter who on the NFC side is going to face them. It's like, it's the NFC side it's like, you don't want to play against the Ravens. That's the thing. Because I feel like, the NFC is so wide open. Like you said, it could be Dallas. And I was like, that's why I had that face expression of like, are you serious? Because in the NFC, there's.
I hate to say that, but that's what it's looking like.
Right. Because I feel like you said, I kind of agree with going to the NFC. I agree with the fact that Green Bay is. I mean, Aaron Rodgers can only do so much, and at the same time, he's not the be all, the end all. I feel with Tampa Bay, even with Brady and Gronkowski there, and now they got LaShawn McCoy, and now they got Fontaine from Jacksonville. They got a whole bunch of number one guys being number twos and threes. It's like, it's great and all, but then again, at the same time, it's like, it's the chemistry factor. And I feel, again, I'm going to reiterate this, even though he's going to a different team with the same type of setup like he used to, but to me, it's like Joe Montana going to the Kansas City Chiefs. It doesn't feel right. He'll probably do well, but it won't feel right. And then I see it go again, the NFC East, where anybody can win that damn division. And like Dallas can win it as long as they get their shit together. And they have not gotten their shit together for years. And hopefully with this new head coach, they may get their shit together. But again, you got to go through that growing pains. And then you got the issue of Ezekiel Elliott and his damn knuckleheadness. You got to deal with Zach Prescott, and hopefully, his hip doesn't hurt every time he does that pregame ritual of his. So, I mean, you just got to, for Dallas, it's like, is there some form of focus? And there's never been a focus on that team for a very long time. And that's why I feel like the team to really look out for is Seattle. I really think, as long as they stay healthy, that's the key part. And especially Russell Wilson to stay healthy. Unfortunately, they lost a top-notch member of their defense. But as long as they stay healthy and try to knock down the Niners a couple of notches, at least one of their games, I think they can take the NFC. So in the final analysis, it is, if it's not this year, it will be next. I will say Kansas City / Baltimore against Seattle.
Woo, that was a long explanation. Catch your breath.
Yes, it is. I'll take a drink.
Yeah. So yeah, that was, but yeah. So yeah, that's my Okay, cool. So you're saying Kansas City, Seattle this year?
I would say right now, Kansas City / Baltimore. Kansas City being the
in the Super
primary in the Super Bowl. Kansas City / Baltimore. If Kansas City doesn't do it, Baltimore will do
Hey,
it.
no flashes. We need a
All right,
definite.
definite right now. Let's say before week 8, it'll be Kansas City, Seattle.
Okay, so I'm saying Kansas City, Dallas. You're saying Seattle. So we'll come back in week 8 and let's see if we keep those same predictions. Like the week 8 prediction is the final prediction. There's like you can't change it in week 15. That's like
Right.
you are.
Let me change my answer, please.
Yeah, no. So we'll come back. We'll revisit our Super Bowl prediction week 8 after week 8, a week after, but after week 8 before week 9, and then that'll be our final prediction.
All right. Speaking of more predictions, I said earlier about Patrick Mahomes. He's on my fantasy league, fantasy team. I re-entered into NFL.com's fantasy team, and I'm going to give you. Say again.
I like to join a fantasy team. Like the dude who used to run the fantasy team at my job doesn't work there anymore. So now we don't have a fantasy team this year.
Oh, yeah, the same with mine. I was at my old job. I used to I did 2 years with her. She was running it, and now she's out in Oregon. Shout out to Miss Sarah. She was running it. She ran it for the last 2-3 years, and she hasn't set it up yet. So I was like, damn, I wanted to play again. No, and I won 2 years ago. So I was surprised. I was like a surprise winner too. I came in as a wild card, and I had this good run for the last 3 weeks. And it was like, oh shit, I won.
How are you doing it this year?
This year, I like I said, I go through the NFL.com. I've just put myself in one of those open public leagues that they have, and I just play for fun. So, but I'm, if there's one for, an entry fee or just for fun, I'm willing to join.
I just got a radio one, but it's almost like too late now.
It's never too late. Usually the late, because the NFL Network, they always have late drafts. Usually the latest you can do it by is week 2 or 3.
No, I want to do it for week 1. Like if I did it, I'm pretty sure it's too late to get. You know what? Maybe I need to send out a filler of who would join it. Now, it wouldn't be for fun. I wouldn't ask people to pay now because that's just too late to pay. But what I would do, I would say the winner of the league is $100.
All right. Well, just put the flyer out there, or I'll create a flyer.
Create a flyer. Rip Radio Fantasy Football League. The first consideration will be given to those on the network, and if we have spots left, 12 teams. ESPN.
Oh, you're doing through ESPN? Okay.
Yeah, ESPN, because I hate Yahoo. Yahoo's a piece of shit. I hate fantasy football on Yahoo. Now, it can be NFL.com or Yahoo. Which one should it be?
Like I said, I've done all 3.
Would you commission?
Huh?
Would you be the commissioner of the league if I set it up?
That's fine, because I'm always I'm on NFL.com. So
okay. So we do NFL.com then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So, all right, I can work that. So, here's the funny thing. I want to tell you this. So, like I said, I did my fantasy and I did my draft. I had my draft yesterday. Here's my team. So I have quarterbacks. I have Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. I'm currently right now I'm having Rodgers on the bench. My running backs are Mark.
Makes sense. Yeah. If especially Patrick Mahomes is there, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and he's starting tomorrow, so hey. Okay, my running backs, I have Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, Ronald Jones, and just for consideration, Adrian Peterson. I have my receivers is T.Y. Hilton, Stephon Diggs, and John Brown, and Henry Ruggs III. My tight ends, I have Hayden Hurst and Mike Gesicki from the Dolphins. My kicker, of course, Justin Tucker. My defenses are the 49ers, which I'm starting, and the Titans. And so that's my team. Now here's the funny part. So after the draft, so they said they figured it's like, okay, let's analyze your draft. How well did you do your draft? So this is what I got. I got this. So the headline is this: with risky reaches, my team name is the Heroes for Hire because it's based off the league is called Superhero League, and most of the teams are named after superheroes. Mm-hmm. So the Heroes for Hire aspires to outsmart the competition. But my draft summary is this, and my grade is I got a C. My projected record is 2-12. I'm like, okay. So the summary is this: Heroes for Hire will be aiming to prove the doubters wrong after generating a 10th place projection in Superhero League. They focus on building a well-rounded team right from the start, acquiring a quarterback, a running back, a receiver, and a tight end within the first 5 picks. By the time the draft was completed, Heroes for Hire ended up with the most prolific tandem of quarterbacks in the league. Of course, Mahomes and Rodgers. The points are other NFL.com drafters felt that choosing Hayden Hurst in the 5th round was somewhat of a stretch because that's where I picked him. Second point was the other league managers may have passed over a diamond in the rough as Aaron Rodgers dropped to the 94th pick. That's when I picked him versus an ADP of 81.6. And then last point was the choice of Adrian Peterson with the 147th pick represented the final round selection with the fewest projected points, which I felt like, look, I picked him because, look, here's the point to counter what they're saying. Hayden Hurst, his main thing when he was with the Ravens is he became like the 2nd to 3rd option because you have Mark Andrews as like he was like the main guy for Jackson to throw to instead of Hayden Hurst, even though he was a number 1 draft pick. And it's just that somehow Andrews was not getting, Andrews was getting the balls. Nothing wrong with Hayden Hurst, and that's why the Ravens let him go. Him going to the Falcons is a good choice. He got himself a good veteran quarterback, Matt Ryan, who he likes throwing to. He'll be a good option to go to because everyone will focus on Julio Jones a lot. If he gets open, he's a really good, versatile tight end, and I feel like he will get a lot of opportunities there. And I think that's a good choice for him. So that's why I picked him. The real main reason it's picking Aaron Rodgers is I felt like, mind you, here's the funny thing. There was a lot of top-notch quarterbacks that are still undrafted in my draft. It was a 10-team draft. I saw Ryan Tannehill, and I feel like he's going to be a sleeper pick. A sleeper pickup now. I feel Garoppolo, he wasn't drafted. So I'm picking up Aaron and Tom Brady. He was picked like down to the 6th or 7th rounds. And I feel, and same with Drew Brees. I think those two are kind of, like you said, on the tail end of their careers right now. So I feel like Aaron Rodgers, I still think he's got it. He's still able to throw over almost 4,000 yards. So I figure it's like he's a good backup option. And then as for Adrian Peterson, it's like, look, have anyone seen the Detroit Lions running game? Because every time they have a decent running back, they always get hurt. And Adrian Peterson, he's a workhorse. Let's put it this way. As even though he's over 30, but he still can run. I think the Redskins made a mild mistake in letting him go. But then again, it's like, who else they got to step up? Well, we'll find out on Sunday, unless they pick up somebody off the street. So, and I feel like, look, the Lions, they picked up a good guy. He still wants to play. He's still got the legs. And if you put him in at a good amount of time, and if he's got a groove going, keep him in there until you're ready to put in someone else to replace him. But you have counters to that?
I was just waiting. Long explanations, man. You must got a lot of built up football frustration because
Hey, everybody's at football frustration.
let me see where I can pick what you said.
Let's start with Adrian Peterson.
Nah, he's not. Well, Adrian Peterson. Well, I mean, of course, I didn't believe the hype in Adrian Peterson. Of course, he's looked good. You you with the Redskins. Of course, you look the best back on the team. Who else do they have? You know what I'm saying? So the Detroit Lions will find out soon enough. And Detroit sucks in the backfield too. So he's probably going to look like the best in Detroit too. So he's going to get away with. He's not going to a competitive backfield. I can understand that from a business standpoint. That's smart business. So he goes into Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, it's him and Kerryon Johnson. I don't see anybody else in the backfield that's going to compete. So that was a smart business move. What else did you say?
Aaron Rodgers, picking him up, and especially as a backup for Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. Fantasy is going to be tricky this year.
Mm-hmm.
Very tricky. Because you're going to draft somebody who has the potential later on to contract the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to bench them for a week or 2 weeks. So this year's fantasy football is going to be extremely skill is going to come out this year. Okay, because we don't know how the NFL could contract. You remember in Major League Baseball, you had teams down for 5, 6, 7 games. All the players on that team were down. So I think this year more than ever, your bench is going to determine if you win fantasy football or not this year. Your bench. So everybody's drafting the best starters. I think you better get some good backups too. Some of them people you wouldn't normally draft in a normal fantasy might want to draft them this year. The free agent waiver wire is going to be crazy this year.
Oh yes.
Momo's going to get the virus. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Just don't know which star is going to get it. Who do you have on the bench? This fantasy is whoever wins fantasy football this year is a true champion.
Yeah, it's very strategic planning and a lot of stuff. And I that's why I felt like this is going to be. I was kind of hesitant of playing this year, because of will they, won't they, and of course the coronavirus situation. But I figured it's like, hey, why not? And it's free. So, but yeah, this is going to be interesting. The draft was kind of interesting too. So, picking up these guys, and I had a night. I listed out. I had Lamar Jackson's my number one, but I got beaten out picking him up. But lucked out on Patrick Mahomes and everything. So, this will be interesting. So this first week will be very interesting. And like I said, getting, I had a system a long time ago where I figured it's like, okay, if you're picking early, get those running backs. If you're picking late, pick those receivers. And, me, I was like in the middle road this time. I was like the 7th round. I was picking 7th. So I figured it's like, okay, pick who you got to get. Try to do a scramble and try not to be a homer, meaning picking your favorite team's players. And I was smart this time. I only picked Justin and Mark Ingram because I was like, oh, I can get this guy and this guy. No, I felt like, no, space it out because you got to remember the bye week. You don't want to, have too many of your homer teams playing on a bye week and you got to wave them off and pick up new guys, and new guys are probably not going to be playing either way because they have COVID. So
what? I really wish that I'd have thought about this earlier. We'd have came up with this earlier, and we could have had a live fantasy football draft right here on No Filter Sports. That'd have been great.
Yeah, as always next year.
Maybe we can still do that. Maybe we can have a special weekly, a second weekly edition. Maybe. Here's my thing with the draft. Okay, let's do it like this with the Rip Radio League. Let's get the league. How many teams do you think? 12 or 10? Maybe 10.
Well, let's put it. Well, the key thing is who will be interested. So,
okay,
let's say I'll put the flyer out saying between 10 to 12. If there's up to 12 people, then yeah, we'll pick the
Okay.
limit. So
Then
but just say
let's have the draft Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m.
okay. Next Wednesday,
Depending on if we get all the people. The
right?
rules will be the winner of the winner of the league. There will be no second place prize. Winner takes all. The winner of the league will win $150
Okay.
to your Cash App or whatever. You'll get that.
Okay.
And that's it. We can do
Okay.
NFL.com or which one is more popular, ESPN or NFL?
I like NFL. NFL, it's straight from the source, as they say.
Okay, so let's do NFL.com. Let's do that
Mhm.
and put it out there. Let's put it out there ASAP tonight, tomorrow, early tomorrow morning. Winner take all, $150. There's no second plot. There's no pay to entry, so you don't have to pay to enter. The winner, we already got 2 teams. So all we're looking for is either 8 more teams or 10 more teams.
Right.
That's it. So let's put it out there.
All right.
And we'll have we can do No Filter Sports, and we can have weekly updates on our fantasy league as No Filter Sports.
Okay.
Maybe the word of the week, we can invite them on the show and talk about how did you win, or the top 2 team owners can come on the show. We can do that throughout the season.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Start a free league. Actually, I'm creating the league right now. So
We can call it either the Rip Radio League or the No Filter Sports. Let's do this. The Rip Radio Network / No Filter Sports Fantasy League.
Okay. Too many letters. Oh, I know how to do this. RRN/NFS.
And you on the flyer, you can put that as Rip Radio Network, No Filter Sports Fantasy League.
Right.
Look at we planning live on the show. That's what we do.
Yeah. So let's see. Do the league password.
Tito Talk, ideas flow. Let me just say that ideas flow with Tito Talk.
Right. So and okay.
My grandfather on my father's side was full-blooded Italian. That's why I'm
what? Oh, you'd be surprised. I saw something on some website or whatever, and they mentioned the fact that certain people, actually, yeah, make 2 divisions. I like divisions, and let's see, week is per playoff. 2 weeks. Let's say 2 weeks championship only. Nah, week 1 playoffs. I like the final weeks. And viewed by public. Yes, allow public view. Nope. No, we're not. All right. And do you want to change the scoring settings, or you want to keep the same because they're like 1 point?
We'll go whatever scoring settings you want to go with.
Okay. I like to change.
I like the 6-point touchdowns, the 1 point extra points. I like the 10 yards for the 1 point every 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
We do now. Here's what I'm used to. We do I'm used to PPR leagues. So it's got to be 1 point per reception.
1 point per reception. I think they still have that. Let's see. Yeah, 1 point per reception. Yeah,
it's got to be PPR.
Yeah, they have that.
Put that out there. Tell them it's also a PPR league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the scoring settings. Yeah, they have 25 every 25 yards. Passing yard is a point. Rushing yard every 10 yards is a point. Receiving yards 1 yard. Reception, of course, is a point. And the normal stuff. So yeah, it's the normal stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything's normal. The normal, except for that. I want to change that to 4. I hate when it's like 3 yards, 3 points for 40. No. And let's see. Oh, missed field goals. Oh, we gotta have. You want to have? Yeah. You missed.
You punishing people for missed field goals?
Yeah, because I feel like you missed it. You missed it. So okay. I mean,
cool.
And I'm gonna. Here's the funny thing. I'm gonna say minus 9 for a chip shot. because it's a chip shot. Yeah, because how you miss a chip shot?
What's a chip shot though?
I mean, from 0 to 19 yards.
Come on, man. Not -9, dog. Do like a -3.
I mean, if you, how can you miss something that's so easy?
Do like a -3, man. Do like not -9. You put the whole game on a field goal kicker. Come on, man. I can do a -3, but not a -9.
All right, -3. I'm doing okay.
Come on, man. Field goal not even worth 9 points. How can you punish him for that?
Oh, jeez. Why not? So, because it's his fault.
Nah, that's just not. Then people not gonna join the league. Then it's like, come on,
man. Okay. My team. Let's see. Not Heroes for Hire. It'll be something else. I'll think of something else. Right now, it's just say Brian's team. All right. Let's see. I've created the league. All right. Whoops. Well, there were 4 errors. You have entered a valid league name. You have entered a valid league domain. You've entered a valid date draft. Oh, damn. So many issues. Okay. Oh, I can't have no special characters. So RN. Yeah. Okay. And you may use. Oh, that's why. All right. Okay. And what else? Yes, we are live doing this as we're telling you this, folks. So hopefully you. Let's see. And Eastern Standard Time, of course. And where's our draft date? Oh, we haven't picked the draft date. So he said next Wednesday. All right.
This Wednesday.
Or this Wednesday. This Wednesday?
This Wednesday.
That close? Okay. Yeah. Damn. All right.
Time for week 1.
All right. 8 p.m. All right. Do the snake order. Okay.
So I mean, we gonna have to send out. I'm gonna have to push this flyer when you get it. Yeah, I'm gonna push it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if it's get created. How did I create a? All right. Let's see. All right. It's been created. All right. There we go, folks. Yeah, we created a league on our show, which will be sent out immediately, very shortly after the show.
We created it live.
Yes. So, but only our RIP Radio Network family will be involved. So, but anyway, lastly,
Go ahead.
Yeah. Lastly, I want to get, since I believe you're a little bit tipsy enough, the final corrections of the NHL team nicknames. And then
let's save that for next week.
Next week, okay. We can save the Western Conference.
I'll make sure I'm nice and quiet before I get on it. Go live.
Okay, that's cool. Any closing comments? Do you feel? Oh, actually, there's something that did come into my head a while back about this whole situation with COVID and the Big Ten. Because, like I said earlier, Donald Trump somehow got his persona into trying to get the Big Ten to start up again, because the Big Ten is one of the major conferences, one of 4 the major conference out of the 6 that decided not to play this season. And right now, somehow, some Big Ten teams are hearing him. We had, our good friend Chip, who's a big Michigan University fan, and he mentioned the fact about, Jim Harbaugh, who's the coach of Michigan, and he mentioned the fact that he had his players tested. Everything should be good. We want to play. But the school president decided, no, we're not doing this. And pretty much everyone in the conference, well, let's say 10 out of the 12 teams decided.
Once again.
Huh?
Back. Okay. You froze again.
Oh, I froze. Oh, okay. But 10 out of the 12 teams, 10 out of the 12 teams decided not to participate. Voted to not participate. Those 2 teams was Iowa and Nebraska. So now somehow Trump got involved and said, hey, the Big Ten needs to get involved and all that stuff. And like I said earlier, college football is being played right now. BYU is facing Navy. like I said, there's a difference between the pros and the college. Do you feel like this season will? And there's no bowl games. No bowl game committee has agreed to actually have a bowl game. Do you feel like this college football season will be fully completed?
No. No. It's just too much of a mess. No.
Yeah, I just don't understand it because, like I say,
you got half the team starting here, you got that other half starting there. It's just a mess. No, it's just a mess. No.
Yeah, I just don't understand. And I'm like I said, I do work with some college teams here in the DC area, and I'm waiting for the basketball season and hear from them to see if they're actually going to do it. Based off of the quote unquote success of the NBA bubble, and that's the thing, they were in a bubble. The WNBA and the NBA. Here, you've got teams traveling, coming in and out, and all that stuff. So you're kind of questioning. I mean, are they going to be the health risk and stuff like that? And again, these are college kids; they're not getting paid for this. I mean, I just read just recently a college player, I think out of Oregon. He said, "I'm opting out this season. I'm going to put myself in the NFL draft because he didn't want to deal with this. But mind you, he's not getting paid." So I just feel like, I mean, if the college players are getting paid, then I would feel like, okay, they may risk this. But I mean, I just don't see the reasoning for college players to risk themselves to do this, even if they had the best preventive medicine treatments, whatever out there. But I just feel like, why risk it if they're not getting paid for it?
I agree.
Yeah. So, well, that was my final rant, or dictating this entire show. So anyway,
I'm forcing you tonight. I see that.
Yeah, I think it's that whole built up football frustration. It's just like, because again, football is about passion and anger, and since it's a couple of days away, and week one is week one Sunday is about to be here. Yeah, you want to all let it out. So anyway, where can people find you, Mr. Real Virgo?
There now. I deleted my personal. I didn't take it down. I actually deleted my Instagram because it was just boring. It's just Instagram. It's just like, and I'm getting close to doing. The only thing keeping me not doing it on Facebook is because all the businesses pages are there. Mm-hmm. So everything's just so depressing when you go on social media. Everybody's beefing with everybody. Everybody's talking about fuck Trump. Everybody talking about go Trump. It's either go Trump, fuck Trump. It's too much, man. So I'm like, unless it's business, follow at Rip Radio.
Yeah,
and Rip Radio Network on Facebook, and that's it.
Okay. Well, I lately been, at least I follow a whole bunch of nice looking female bodybuilders and things like that, or fitness people. So that kind of deters me away from all the craziness that a lot of people post. But anyway, my Instagram, of course, is BTP Pics, but the show's Instagram is no underscore sports underscore filter underscore 2.5. Yeah, that's a whole creepy mess. But anyway, and if you see on the top corner there, on the bottom corner there, that is the YouTube channel that we're on. You can
remember all those numbers.
Yeah, but pretty much just find No Filter Sports on YouTube and you'll see this on there, so you can see our faces. But you can also hear us on Podbean, SoundCloud, and a whole bunch of other places elsewhere. But anyway, that is our time. I'm Brian. This is Trump. We will see you next time on No Filter Sports. Peace.
A real Virgo.